inside the Georgia Tech softball locker room where I'm Wiley Ballard, joined by Coach Eileen Morales, and we're going to talk some about the vision for Georgia Tech softball under Coach Morales. And let's go ahead and dive right in. First, Coach, as a player here, a three-time All-ACC selection. Between your playing and coaching career as an assistant, you won 4 ACC titles. So you've seen this program at its peak. What level of focus does it take to maintain that success?
Yeah, I mean, I think that first and foremost, you have to have athletes who want to compete on the national level. For me, as a player, I wanted to be a part of this program because I saw some great players coming through. Jessie Salinger was one of the softball players I met on my visit, and she was an All-American pitcher, one of the best pitchers to have ever pitched here. Being around players with that talent level was something that drew me to this school. Beyond that, being able to coach in this program, it's about trying to elevate each player to their highest level. And so for us, being able to have the stadium that we have and being able to compete in a state-of-the-art facility gives us that opportunity to host a regional or a super regional or things like that. And I really feel like for us, we want the opportunity to do that, and we've seen that happen.
You've mentioned the word opportunity a lot, and that's a big part of being here at Georgia Tech as a student athlete. Can you explore and describe some of those opportunities that are available to student athletes here at Georgia Tech?
Well, first and foremost, we provide the opportunity to develop leaders. Once you come out of Georgia Tech, you have leadership abilities that are unmatched. We prepare our student athletes for what's next. What are you going to do the next 40 years? Not just what are you doing here for 4 years, but what's next down the road. Beyond that, it's an opportunity to compete in the ACC, to compete for conference championships, to develop yourself as a person. As a whole, you have best of the best academics, best of the best athletics, and developing the total person as well. And taking that to the next level is about the opportunity to compete on a national stage, on a national level.
How about being in Atlanta, what that means, not only from playing at a high level of ACC softball, but having a Fortune 500 company just down the street and so on and so forth?
Yeah, I mean, the internships and the opportunities to prepare yourself for the future are unmatched. Atlanta, I mean, you can go around the corner and get an internship at Cox, Home Depot, all of that. And so the great thing about that is when they are in summer or things like that, they still are able to work on, that professional development, that personal development, the other side of it, and building their resume and getting prepared for what's next. But yeah, I love Atlanta. It's great to be back in the city. When I was a kid growing up, we would drive through Atlanta to go visit my mom's side of the family, and I always remembered seeing, the Pencil Building lit up, and that was something that always stuck with me. I'd be in the back of the car and see that building, and I still, every time I come into the city and see that, it reminds me of that. And so I have a lot of pride and sentimental feelings towards the city because it was just always something that I want to be there, I want to live there. That's where I see myself. And so every day when I come here and get to work in this environment, I feel lucky, I feel blessed.
When it comes to competing for conference championships and national championships to that extent, obviously it starts in the day-to-day. What is your message in the locker room day in, day out?
We want to get better each day. It's about that blue-collar work ethic, coming here every day, not expecting anything. Everything that you go out on that field is something that you earn. You earn a conference championship not in May, but back in August, September, October. It is a daily thing, and it's about continuing to get better not only individually, but as a team. And I think that's one of the things we've continued to talk about. Even this season so far, we've gotten better each weekend. And so it has to be that mentality of I'm going to come here, I'm going to work hard because I want to be the best I can be to make my team the best it can be.
You mentioned blue collar. One of the traditions when you were playing here was those blue jersey tops, Georgia Tech softball. What other traditions and themes are you trying to bring into today that you witnessed as a player?
Yeah, I mean, I think we pulled in some of those because we won a lot of championships or won a lot of big games in those jerseys. That was an actual visual example of it. But beyond that, we brought back in our post-game chant a little GT. So after we break it down, we say GT. And so that's something that I know as a player we did. The other thing that was kind of cool is we got a new scoreboard. Everybody on our team, everybody on our current program helped contribute to getting that new scoreboard. And so we're just trying to tie in. People came before you. And there's alumni who came before you who didn't have a locker room like this, didn't have a field like this, and they paid it forward. They did the hard work so that you could have these amazing facilities. And so it's our job now to pay it forward for the next classes, the next recruiting classes, the future of Georgia Tech softball. And so what's next?
How important is it for a student athlete to want to be here at Georgia Tech?
Yeah, I mean, we want people who love what Georgia Tech stands for, what Georgia Tech represents. At the end of the day, if you are coming in every day and you love what you're doing, we're going to get a whole bunch more out of you than if you not kind of have a take it or leave it attitude. So at the end of the day, we're going to spend a lot of time together, so we want to have a lot of fun with each other. We want people who are passionate about Georgia Tech, who love what we represent, who want to come be leaders and want the opportunity to be coached and the opportunity to work hard.
Well, Coach, thanks for your time. Whether you're a student here at Georgia Tech, a prospective student athlete, a member of the community, or just a fan and alum, we hope you'll join us here as Georgia Tech softball gets up and running under head coach Eileen Morales.